네, 여러분 지금부터 세계 해양 포럼 개막식을
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to begin the opening ceremony of the World Ocean Forum. And we have President Kim Jin-soo and Vice Minister Song Myung-dal, Chairman An Sung-min, and President Kim Hyun-kyung, and keynote speakers such as the Chairman Michida Yutaka of UNESCO IOC and Mr. Baek Jun-ho, CEO of Furiosa AI, are entering the venue. Please welcome our distinguished guests.
Ocean Forum 2024. Now our VIPs are entering the hall for the opening ceremony. We would like to welcome them with a big round of applause. 큰 박수와 함께 내빈분들을 모셔주시기 바랍니다.
Please give our VIPs a big hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, the opening ceremony of World Ocean Forum 2024 is about to begin now. Our distinguished guests, excellencies, and all our very precious guests are now entering the hall and taking their seats for the opening ceremony. We would like to welcome them with warm round of applause. 함께 해주신 내 외빈 여러분, 연사분들, 관계자분.
I would like to thank all the participants, including our VIPs and representatives of different institutions. We are about to begin the opening ceremony of the World Ocean Forum. And our theme this year is Ocean Intelligence. And with the emergence of AI, there is a wind of changes in different industries and in our society. That is why the marine industry would like to achieve sustainable development by tapping into AI technologies. We provide simultaneous interpretation during the session. If you need interpretation service, please use the receiver placed on your table. Channel number 1 is Korean and channel number 2 is English. If you have any difficulties using the device, please ask the questions to the staff around you.
World Ocean Forum theme is Ocean Intelligence with AI, and we would like to let you know about the translation to be provided during the event. Tune your translation receiver into channel number 1 for Korean and 2 for English. 네, 함께 해주신 내빈 여러분 진심으로 감사드립니다.
Thank you very much for joining us. Shortly, we are going to begin the opening ceremony of the 2024 World Ocean Forum. I would like to thank all of the distinguished guests and participants. And this year's theme is Ocean Intelligence with AI. There is a new wave of new industries based on AI technologies, and that is the very theme of our forum. And last year, the theme was Blue Technomy, which aims to lead a new phase of the global maritime blue economy with eco-friendly advanced technology. And this year, the theme will focus on the new paradigm of the future marine industry, AI, which is expected to provide optimal solutions to logistics and resource management, as well as international maritime issues with intertwined interests. And I look forward to the discussion on the theme. So let me introduce the theme once again. And in the opening ceremony, we have 2 keynote speakers. And afterward, we will have a panel discussion. And in the morning, we had the marine bio session. And tomorrow, on September 25th, in Hall A, we will have shipbuilding and shipping session. And in Hall C, we will have a cruise, maritime finance, and Busan special session. And September 26th, we will talk about fisheries, blue economy, marine humanities, host special session, and epilogue session. I look forward to your interest and active participation. And we have the networking reception after this ceremony. And invited guests of the Korea Marine Honors Network Night, please wait for a moment to be informed of the location of the networking reception. And the networking reception will be held at the outdoor pool on the 7th floor of the hotel. please follow the instruction of our staff and be back at this venue by 6:30 p.m. We are about to begin the opening ceremony very soon. Thank you.
여러분 고맙습니다. 그리고 환영.
Thank you very much and welcome. Good afternoon. Welcome to the 18th World Ocean Forum 2024. So let us begin the opening ceremony with a round of applause. Thank you very much. My name is Jung Hae-ri, your MC for this special forum. It's a great pleasure to meet you.
And welcome to World Ocean Forum 2024. I'm Harry Jang, MC for the opening ceremony, and it is my great honor to be here with all of you. On behalf of our host and organizer, let me extend my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you. Thank you. 네, 2007년 시작하여 올해로
The World Ocean Forum, Korea's longest-running maritime industry platform, started in 2007, is celebrating its 18th edition this year. And this year's theme is Ocean Intelligence with AI, and the forum is a leading innovation in the era of AI, becoming a big wave and driving the maritime industry and moving into the future together. And I would like to thank all of the distinguished guests joining us at the opening ceremony. On behalf of the organizing committee, the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries, Busan Metropolitan City, and Busan Daily News. And up to now, experts have gathered here, and we have covered various topics such as shipping, ports, fisheries, shipbuilding, marine science, and maritime humanities. And it has also become a platform for international organizations, governments, global companies, and research institutions to discuss and communicate the prospects of the marine industry. To celebrate the 18th forum, we are going to invite President Kim Jin-soo from Busan Daily News, who will deliver the opening remarks. Please welcome Mr. Kim with a big hand.
Nice to meet you all. I'm very delighted to open this World Ocean Forum in this beautiful autumn time, especially here in Busan. We are kicking off this event together with the Ministry of Oceans and Fishery, Busan Metropolitan City, and Busan Ilbo. The World Ocean Forum has been held in Busan always every year with the goal of making the city a global hub. And I'm very delighted and honored to be with you to open and kickstart the World Ocean Forum. So we are experiencing a lot of challenges domestically and in the maritime industry. I hope that the World Ocean Forum could be a platform where we can find a solution. I would like to extend my gratitude to the Ministry of Oceans and Fishery for their continued support for this event. Minister Kang had to come and planned to come, but due to the National Assembly schedule, we have Vice Minister Song Myung-dal from the ministry. And I would also like to thank Kim Hyun-gyum from the Planning Committee of World Ocean Forum for preparing this fruitful event. Also, many business leaders, experts, delegations, and Dean of Maritime University and Dean of Pugyong University came here. And for the keynote session, Professor Jang Jae-guk from Dongseok University has come as a moderator. Many maritime leaders in Busan have participated, including CEO Yang Jae-seng. And also we have Mr. Kang Eui-guk from Busan Consul And we have Mr. Ko Dong-gyun from the Maritime CEO Academy under Busan Ilbo. We have Chairman from the Busan City Council, who leads the Maritime Committee. We have Council Chair Choi Do-seok. I would like to thank all the distinguished guests for coming to this event amidst their busy schedule. As being introduced by our MC, the theme of this year is Ocean Intelligence. We have two keynote speakers. We have Dr. Yutaka Michida, Chair of Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission IOC. Dr. Yutaka Michida has long provided deep insight in the field of oceanography. And another keynote speaker is CEO Baek Junho, CEO of Furiosa AI. During the pre-meeting, I've heard that we are going to have many new sessions for this World Ocean Forum to weather through climate change issues and AI challenges. I hope that we could gather some wisdom. Many participants and experts from across the world gathered here, and we have prepared a lot of sessions. As you know, Busan is preparing a new leap forward. I hope that taking this opportunity of World Ocean Forum, I hope that we could contribute to the further advancement of Busan and maritime industry. Thank you.
힘찬 개회사와 함께
Thank you for a meaningful opening remarks. I would like to thank President Kim once again. Next, from our co-host Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries, Vice Minister Song Myung-dal will deliver welcoming remarks. Please welcome the Vice Minister with a big hand.
우리 사장님께서 키가
President Kim is much taller than I am, so I have to adjust the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to meet you all. I'm Song Myung-dal, Vice Minister of Oceans and Fisheries, and I would like to extend a heartfelt welcome to all of you attending the 18th Forum. I would like to express my deep gratitude to Mayor Park Hyung-jun of Busan, President Kim Jin-soo of Busan Ilbo, Planning Committee Chair Kim Hyun-kyum, and all others involved in organizing this forum. I extend a special welcome and thanks to Mr. Yutaka Michida, Chair of UNESCO's IOC, and Mr. Junho Baek, CEO of Furiosa AI, who will deliver today's keynote speeches. Distinguished guests, the theme of this year's forum is Ocean Intelligence. In an era where artificial intelligence is transforming not only industries but also the way individuals work and live. Aptly named the AI Everywhere era, I believe this is a highly timely topic. Many experts refer to AI technology as a game changer for the future. This doesn't just mean improving productivity or efficiency. It has the potential to reshape entire industries. AI technology is no longer the sole domain of IT companies. From manufacturing and logistics to biotechnology, industries across the board are actively integrating AI technology. This trend was clearly visible at CES 2024, the world's largest electronics exhibition held this past January. Even companies in sectors seemingly distant from AI, such as cosmetics and retail, unveiled concrete blueprints for incorporating AI technology. The ocean and fisheries industry is no exception. AI technology is already being applied across various fields, from smart aquaculture to smart ports and autonomous ships, and we are seeing tangible results. In March of this year, we completed the first smart aquaculture cluster, and in April, the smart port terminal opened at Busan New Port. And just yesterday, a container ship equipped with an autonomous navigation system, developed with our own technology, began its trial voyage in Busan. Moving forward, we will continue to expand the investment in AI-driven innovative technologies to fully unlock the potential of the ocean and fisheries industry. At the same time, we will work on establishing domestic and international regulatory frameworks. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure many of you remember the movie Avatar, released in 2009. In fact, director James Cameron had completed the script 15 years before the movie's release. However, the technology needed to bring his vision to life didn't exist at the time, so he had to delay production. It was only in the 2000s, with the rapid advancement of computer graphics, that his imagination could finally be realized on screen. This example shows us when creative ideas and technology align, both can reach their full potential. I hope this forum will spark creative discussions on the direction of AI technology in the ocean and fisheries sector. I look forward to seeing how our imagination, combined with AI technology, can contribute to the development of people and communities whose lives are rooted in the ocean. Once again, I warmly welcome all of you, and I wish you good health and happiness. Thank you very much.
고맙습니다, 여러분.
Thank you. Please give him a big round of applause. So far, it was Vice Minister Song. He shared his expectation to the World Ocean Forum and extended warm welcome to the maritime professionals. Next, we will have a congratulatory speech from Mr. An Sung-min, Chairman of Busan Metropolitan Council. Please give him a big round of applause. I sincerely congratulate you on the opening of the 18th World Ocean Forum, and I would like to thank all the participants. Before, CEO Kim extended his welcome to all of our distinguished guests, so I'll skip that part. So I would like to thank Mr. Lee Hee-sung and City Council Member Kim and Ms. Council Member Chun Eun-seok for coming to this forum from the Democratic Party. And CEO of Hilchang Mulsan, Mr. Kwon, and other distinguished guests. I wanted to introduce you one by one, but I only have so much time. Please understand. As we are all the ocean lovers, if I make some mistake, please kindly understand. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, the author of The Little Prince, once said, if you want to build a ship, don't drum up the people to gather wood or divide work. Instead, teach them to yearn for the vastness and endless sea. I think we have that desire for the vastness of the sea, and Busan City has become the second largest transshipment port based on that desire. However, we cannot know the exact picture of the future. So as the theme illustrates, we need to have ocean intelligence with AI. The new technologies based on AI will make Busan become a maritime hub. Whenever we have a big event in ocean, CEO Kim always supported those events, and I would like to take this opportunity to extend my gratitude. And I wish you health and happiness to all the participants. Thank you. Please give him a big round of applause. We had congratulatory speech from Mr. An Sung-min, Council Chair. Next, we will watch a welcome speech from Park Hyung-jun, Mayor of Busan. Please watch. Nice to meet you all. I am Park Hyung-jun, Mayor of Busan. I sincerely congratulate you on the 18th World Ocean Forum. I would like to express my deep gratitude to Mr. Kim Jin-soo, CEO of Busanilbo, and Vice Minister Song Myung-dal of Oceans and Fisheries, and Mr. An Sung-min, Chairman of the Busan City Council. I also warmly welcome Dr. Michida Yutaka, Chair of UNESCO IOC, and CEO Baek Jun-ho from Furiosa AI, and all the other experts. Since my inauguration, I have constantly attended the WOF, but due to unavoidable scheduling conflict this year, I had to meet you through this video message. Please kindly understand. I understand that this year's World Ocean Forum will feature various sessions under the theme of Ocean Intelligence with AI. As you know, AI has already been widely utilized in maritime sector. As a global hub for the marine industry, Busan is leading efforts to build smart ports, develop autonomous ships, and protect marine resources. The topics discussed at this forum will drive a better future for humanity through the ocean. We too will listen closely to the insight of the world leaders and reflect them in our policies. I wish you great success, and I hope you take a moment to enjoy the beautiful city of Busan. Thank you. Thank you for your welcoming speech. Please give him a big round of applause. Thank you for your support as well. Although they could not attend in person, Congressman Jung Hee-young and Kim Hee-jung has sent congratulatory messages. Thank you. And as Mr. An introduced, we have Chairman and member of the Maritime Committee of the Busan City Council here. And we have Dean of Universities and Head of Institutions. Well, thank you once again for coming to this forum. Throughout the last year, the organizing committee and planning committee members had made a lot of efforts to prepare this event, so please give them a big round of applause. Thank you once again. The World Ocean Forum covers all the industry verticals and themes of maritime. And this year we have a theme of ocean intelligence with AI. Before we kick off the keynote session, let's watch a video on the journey of our maritime industry.
감사합니다.
Thank you very much. Sustainable marine industry and future were the theme of the video. And in the marine industry, we have to catch up with the trend so that we can lead the era of AI. And today, we have two keynote speakers who will give us insights into the marine industry and AI. So let me introduce our first keynote speaker. It's Mr. Yutaka Michida, Chairman of the UNESCO IOC. Let me introduce our speaker while he is making his way to the podium. Dr. Yutaka Michida served as a Vice Chairman of the IOC from 2011 to 2015, focusing on activities related to international ocean data and tsunamis, and has been active in the development of oceanography in Japan, serving as Vice President of the Ocean Policy Society and a special professor at the University of Tokyo. Please welcome our speaker with a round of applause.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for your kind introduction to me. I'm Yutaka Michida, as introduced by the moderator. First of all, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation to all the organizers, including the higher level distinguished guests in front of us. It's my great pleasure and honor to be a part of this kind of important and exciting forum, World Ocean Forum 18th. Today, I'd like to share with you some of the idea about the IOC is having now. So, before starting my talk, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation to the government of Republic of Korea for its continuous support to the IOC, Intergovernmental Oceanography Commission. The Republic of Korea actually one of the most active partner in our commission in this area. So having said that, I'd like to start my short presentation. Maybe okay. Who am I? I'm Yutaka Michida, the professor of University of Tokyo. I was born in Hiroshima City, the year 1958. Already, I'm 66 years old, and graduated from the University of Tokyo. And then I joined the Japan Coast Guard Hydrographic Department as a research officer. And then they moved to the university year 2000 as the associate professor, then promoted to the professor, and now I have a position of special presidential envoy for UN Decade Ocean Science. UN Decade Ocean Science I'll be touching upon later on a little bit. Okay, my background in physical oceanography, particularly on the sea surface current structure. For the last 10 years, I expanded my research field to cover the marine policy as well. Actually, I am now the Vice President of Japan Society for Marine Policy. So with regard to international activities, I have been involved in so many activities like this. And I'd like to mention one thing is during my service period, starting year 2011 to 2015, when I was vice chair of the IOC Intergovernmental Oceanography Commission, at that time, the chair was Dr. Sang Kyung-byung from Korea. So under his leadership, we had a very good cooperative days to promote IOC's activities with Dr. Sang Kyung-byung. So last year, I was elected as a chair of the IOC. This is the first time for the Japanese to be elected as the chair of the IOC. So today, I'd like to cover three parts. First, I'd like to share with you what is IOC. Most of the general public knows about IOC for the International Olympic Commission. But today, it's not an Olympic Commission. It's an important commission, but for this forum, the Intergovernmental Oceanography Commission, IOC, within the UNESCO is quite important. Okay. What is the IOC? established in the 1960, many years ago already, and within UNESCO, with the functional autonomy. You know, the IOC, Intergovernmental Oceanic Commission, is a part of the UNESCO, and the financial support has coming from the UNESCO regular budget, but the functional autonomy means some sort of the decision-making processes a little bit independent from the UNESCO. For example, the United States of America left for a while, for 7 years from the UNESCO, since the 2017 to last year. Fortunately, United States of America returned to UNESCO last year. I'd like to express our heartfelt welcome back to the United States of America. But during that period, the absent from the UNESCO membership, the United States of America still has been keeping its membership as IOC. So in this connection, the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission has some sort of the functional autonomy. The main part of our mission is to promote international cooperation in terms of the scientific part. You know, there are so many the ocean-related organizations like IMO, WMO, UNEP, and FAO as well. But the part of the promotion of the ocean science, with regard to that part, the IOC has been considered as a competent agency within the UN system. Okay, I'm not going into in detail of the structure of the IOC, but I'm the chair, and currently we have 150 member states, not only those in the coastal states, but also the inland states as well, like Switzerland. Switzerland keeps its membership of the IOC for many years. And every 2 years, we have assembly to discuss about the policy matter, including the budget allocation for the several programs of the IOC. And between the 2 years, we have the Executive Council meeting. Executive Council consists of 40 elected member states, including the Republic of Korea and Japan in this area. So the headquarters of the Secretariat is located in Paris, the same building with the UNESCO. Okay, current the present officers of IOC, I'm the chair, and we have 5 vice chairs. Each electoral group, we have 5 electoral groups in the world, and each electoral group has 1 vice chair. In this area, I mean the Korea and the Japan, the area is electoral group 4, Asia and the Pacific. The current vice chair from this region is Dr. Srinivasa Kumar from India. So the membership of the latter half of this slide shows the 40 member states of the Executive Council. In this area, Australia and the other members as well, and also, as I mentioned before, the Republic of Korea and Japan is also the member of the Executive Council. IOC's the main mission is discuss about the promotion of science, not the difficult discussion about the policy matters, such as we are facing a very difficult international political situation, but at the same time, we have some sort of the influence from that situation. You can see that the member of the electoral group 2, which is the Eastern Europe and Russia, Russia has been keeping its membership for many years, but at the last election, Russia lost its position as the Executive Council. Okay. We have set up the 5 high-level objectives. In detail, if you are interested in the detail, please refer to the right bottom hand side. It's a medium-term strategy of IOC. it described very much in detail. But the 5 high-level objectives cover healthy and resilient ocean, and the second is effective warning system, which means the effective tsunami warning system. You know, the tsunami warning system in the Pacific and other area has been developed and constructed by the IOC. And also the scientifically sound for the ocean sustainability is quite important mission as well. Okay. I'm not touching upon in detail because of the time. The portfolio, core part of the portfolio, you see the capacity development. You know, there are so many countries, including Japan and Korea, but the other countries, least developed countries, we have. So the capacity development in that for that country is quite important, one of the core tasks of the IOC. Okay, to promote our mission, I'd like to touch upon a little bit about the UN Decade of Ocean Science. Many of you know already, but it was proclaimed at the UN General Assembly year 2017 to start the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development in 2021 to 2030, 10 years so-called program or some sort of campaign, as I should say. This is you see the okay. The implementation plan is available online. So if you are interested in that activities, please refer to that. And we are now in the 4th year of the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, which aimed at the promotion of the ocean science, particularly the Sustainable Development Goal number 14, which is the ocean. You know, some years ago, the kind of assessment said that there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals. You know, among these 17 goals, the number 14, the ocean, has been the least invested part. That's a problem, you know. The Sustainable Development Goals, the keywords is no one left behind. But if we do not promote the ocean science side, oceanographers, ocean part might be left behind. That is the problem. Right? So in this the connection, the IOC and UNESCO prepared the implementation plan, and now, fortunately, the implementation phase now. Republic of Korea and Japan are also the very active countries to promote the UN Decade of Ocean Science. Decade set up the 7 societal outcomes, including clean ocean and forecasted ocean, predicted ocean, I said, and the sustainably productive ocean. So in this area, it's based on science, but not only pure science, but also based on the scientific result, we have to promote the societal goal. You know, toward these societal goals is quite important to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal altogether. Okay, the UN Decade of Ocean Science set up the 7 societal outcomes, but at the same time defined the 10 challenges. There are so many challenges, you know. One of the keywords is data sharing. You know, it's a little bit related to today's theme, AI. The data sharing is one of the essential part of to promote the ocean science and towards the societal goals. To implement the UN Decade of Ocean Science, already set up this kind of structure, international structure. Secretariat service has been provided by the IOC, and it's recommended to establish the National Decade Committee in each country. Republic of Korea has one national UN Decade, National Decade Committee, I said, and Japan also has this part. Some of the bottom-up the approach is also important to properly implement the UN Decade Ocean Science. Okay, among 7 societal outcomes, I picked up 2 of them. The first one, the number 6, is a transparent, accessible ocean. That means to improve the oceanographic data sharing, and including not also the scientific data, but also the indigenous and the local knowledges as well, toward the sustainable society goal. Number 7, this is a new one, the very last stage of the planning of the UN decade. The number 7 was added as the final societal outcome. It said inspiring and engaging ocean. That means the ocean is not only for the oceanographers. Ocean is not for the ocean engineers, not for the ocean the communities, not only for the fishermen, but also all together, all over the world. Everybody's ocean, right? So in this connection, the ocean should be inspiring and the engaging ocean. Otherwise, I'm now getting older now, and the next generation, the goal year of the UN Decade Ocean Science is 2030. But beyond the 2030, in this case, in this connection, the important point is the involvement, engagement of the younger generation, next generation, on the after next generation. So I think, in my opinion, the number 7, society outcome number 7, is most important for the Decade Ocean Science. Okay, my final part is the only 3 minutes left. Okay, AI. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, now there are ongoing and potential areas, many potential areas to apply the AI technology related to ocean prediction and early warning and pollution monitoring, and also so that the industrial part of the ship routing is quite important, right, to save the oil and the other resources. And the marine spatial planning, do you know about it? For the last the decade or 2 decades, the importance of the marine renewable energy is getting higher and higher, not only in Japan, but also in the world. So in this connection, of course, offshore wind farm is a new utilization of the marine space. So in this connection, the marine spatial planning, proper marine spatial planning is really quite important. So to establish proper marine spatial planning, the AI can be used, I think. Okay, but maybe after my talk, the AI expert provide some detailed information about AI, the development now. But the AI has been developing a little bit very higher than expected. So some concern has been raised by UNESCO. I should say concern, because UNESCO's main part is education. So education part, the AI is quite the high potential to be utilized for better educational activities. But at the same time, we need to consider some sort of, I should say, ethics. Based on this understanding, the UNESCO published the ethics of AI recommended by ethic AI recommendation the year 2021. So if you are not take a look, please take a look at it. This publication. That publication pointed out very important points, including the human rights and other things. Okay, less than 1 minute. This is an example of the issue of regarding the ocean forecasting with AI. Some challenges we have, I don't have enough time to discuss in detail here, but what is the reliability of the data to be included in AI, and the data policies are quite important. And the fourth one is there might be the bias or contamination by the AI-generated data. That might be a big problem in the future. Okay, this is my final slide. One Planet, One Ocean is the IOC's keywords or catchphrase for the last couple of years, which means that the ocean is the starting point of the ecosystem, right? Even in the land-based ecosystem, they have been fed by the rainfall. Rainfall starts from the ocean evaporation. So in this connection, the ocean is quite important, not only for ocean itself, but also the land-based ecosystem. So finally, let me say that let's go together toward the ocean we want. So particularly the UNDCAD Ocean Science for Sustainable Development is some sort of once-in-a-life opportunity for us, for all of us. So get together. Thank you very much for your attention.
여러분 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. We thank you.
Please give another round of applause to the speaker.
And we would like to invite you one more time in a bit for the panel discussion. Thank you. 네, 고맙습니다. 미치다 유타카 유네스코 IOC.
So it was the chair of UNESCO IOC. He covered oceanographic data and he shared his long-standing experience in this field. Thank you once again. Now let's meet our second keynote speaker. Our second speaker is Baek Jun-ho, CEO of Furiosa AI, Korea's only company dedicated to designing AI-specific semiconductors. Mr. Baek obtained his master's degree from Georgia Institute of Technology, worked for Samsung and AMD, and in 2016 he founded Furiosa AI, and the company launched its first generation AI-dedicated semiconductor warboy. Please join me in welcoming him with a big round of applause.
오늘 이렇게 우리
Thank you for inviting me as the keynote speaker for the World Ocean Forum. As being introduced, I am leading a semiconductor company that runs AI. I am a CEO of the startup. Semiconductor require precision engineering because precision engineering is all about nanometer scale chips, but ocean deals with the vast area of the earth. So I think we are on the opposite side in terms of scale, I think. But there's an intersection of what I do and ocean. So thank you for giving me the chance to think about that intersection. Today presentation will be about AI. So I'm going to introduce you the fundamental technology of AI. Let's take a look back on its fundamentals and technological aspect of AI and how it can meet with ocean and ocean technology to further advance the ocean industry and make it sustainable. First of all, the AI that we are talking about, to explain it in a more specific term, it used deep neural network. We call it deep learning or deep neural network, DNN. The DNN technology is the basis of AI. And the DNN is a replica of the human neuron. I guess you may have learned from the biology class during your school time. You know the neuron within our brain, and many neurons are interconnected within our brain. And there's input part neuron, and that input part processes the information to pass the information to other neuron. That's the structure of our brain. The AI uses DNN, simplified version of the DNN. In the past, the AI that we treated in the past was quite different from what we have right now. So when we talk about AI, we have DNN-based AI model. And there's a training process for the AI algorithm. And there's another part, inference, for the application of this technology. Training means we put data in the algorithm, and we need to collect vast amount of data to train the DNN. For example, this is image recognition algorithm. For that, we give an input of a lot of images to train the DNN algorithm. And the algorithm learns and make a guess on whether that image is dog or cat. As mentioned before, DNN has the weight value between neuron and another neuron. And the DNN fine-tune the math outcome of that each neuron calculation. Just like human, the algorithm learns a lot of data and fine-tune and calibrate the network so that it can do a right work. So it's a process of training it and making it to strike the answer. And that's the inference part. So the DNN here, we only have 10 or so network on the slide, but in fact, so previously you saw AlphaGo and other artificial intelligence, and if you visualize the DNN of AlphaGo and other AI system, it looks like those on the slide. Billions of interconnection and 100,000 nodes, neural nodes. So these are the image recognition algorithm of the 10 years ago. And now, if you see those models, it looks complicated, but that is of the past. That is how we can illustrate how AI thinks. But if we make an image of ChatGPT or other deep learning AI, it is more than billion times complicated than these two images. The size is 1 million times bigger. Although it contains some errors, but the AI system nowadays can talk like human, and the size of that neural network is billion times bigger than the previous generation. So this shows how the AI is growing fast. The term that I'm referring to is that the AI model is getting bigger, and by bigger, I mean the neural scale is getting bigger, because if it gets bigger, then the performance will be stronger. I've mentioned about training and inference. If the neural network model gets bigger, then in order to train the network, we need to have the computation and calculation, and that's why we need a lot of semiconductors. If the neural network size is just mediocre, then we don't need that much semiconductor. But as the size is getting bigger, in order to run the computation on those systems, we need a lot of semiconductors. To do such computing, we need infrastructure. As the humanity wants to develop a stronger intelligence, and as the humanity is investing a lot to develop that intelligence, the size is getting bigger. In the ocean field, we face a lot of challenges in, for example, the climate change issue or ecosystem or surface temperature rise. Those problems are quite complicated. To solve those complicated problems, we can use AI. That's why humans are trying to develop the AI in a bigger size using a lot of semiconductors. So this is the development of AI in one page. We cannot know whether we are at the beginning or the maturity of the technology, but as mentioned, the DNA-based model will get bigger and will make a stronger performance AI. The neural network, if we put data in it, after training the neural network, surprisingly, the DNN can solve a lot of problems. So the DNN algorithm can find or understand the fundamental model of the data. You may have used ChatGPT. It talks like human and writes like human because the neural network has learned the languages of human, vast amount of sentences. So the AI can understand the natural language that humans use, and it has done the modeling, the fundamental modeling, and when certain sentence is given, then it can make a guess on what the following sentence will be. So I wanted to show you how many computation it entails. This is the neural network model of ChatGPT. If you see the mathematic model of the ChatGPT, then you can see the formula on the right side. The dimension of that mathematic formula, it is 50,000 lines horizontally and 10,000 lines vertically. The entries within those columns, it will be about 100 million units. You can put in all the names of the people of the Republic of Korea in that table, and the table itself is bigger than that. In order to infer one token, we need to repeat that 400 times. And as ChatGPT has a lot of inputs and it needs to do it redundantly for 100 or more time, this illustrates that a lot of computations goes into ChatGPT. And one fundamental technology is data. So that's the basis of ChatGPT. We need internet-based scale of data. And second is computing power, which is semiconductors technology. So those two contributed to the further advancement of AI so far, and in going forward, it will have to get stronger and stronger. So AI and computing will be detrimental or essential in the development of application that's built on AI. So computing will be the future of oil. That will be a strategic asset that we will have. So the story that I shared before is that AI requires a lot of computing and a lot of data. If we train the algorithm well, then the model that understands those data fundamentally will get stronger. And one is natural language, and another field is vision. For example, autonomous driving or autonomous ship, or visual exploration of ocean ecosystem. That's the technology based on vision system. For object detection technology or other vision technology exists nowadays, but in going forward, it will have to understand the spatial information as well. And the robotics will have to be developed in order to use the vision intelligence as well as navigation technology. So I think that's the way forward for the AI vision side. So this was released 1 week ago by NASA. This is the model that fundamentally understands the weather and climate of the Earth. In the past, we tried to do this kind of simulation based on mathematics and science. We have built those models based on those, but the next paradigm is neural network model-based computation, because mathematical modeling has constraints. So for environment and weather, we need basic data, and by training the data, we can find a fundamental model like so. So AI will be applied to understand the fundamentals of various industries. And that will push the AI to evolve and be applied to many industry verticals. As mentioned, ocean industry needs weather foundation model or vision foundation model, or based on the language, for example, planning and reasoning models will be developed in the future to make the ocean industry sustainable and contribute to protecting marine resources. In the process of making or upgrading the technology, data is important. And how to enable the processing of those data in a fast speed is related to semiconductor performance. The engineering system design is another challenge that we need to solve. So today I'm going to briefly touch upon AI semiconductors. So this is the introduction of my company. So Furiosa AI was founded in 2017. Myself and 3 other co-founders joined to make this company, and it has been 7 years in the market. We launched first generation chip, and soon we are going to release the second generation chip for sampling to the customer. Sustainability is also important for AI computing. As mentioned, AI computing uses a lot of power. So all the technology that we design currently will have to think about how to sustainably use the power, and that's the mission of our Furiosa AI. The chip is called Renegade. I brought the chip here. This is the semiconductor chip that we have developed. Among the semiconductor chips, the size is quite big. It is the biggest size chip that the precision processing can make. There are over 40 billion transistors on this single chip. If you compare the entire population on Earth, it's 4 times bigger in number. 40 billion chips is on this single chip to enable AI computing. I showed you the neural network with the picture on the slide. And mathematical calculation of the neural network will be solved through the semiconductor chip. Important thing here is to reduce the energy use here and make it efficient. And engineers has put a lot of efforts to reduce the energy consumption of this semiconductor chip. And other state-of-the-art technology has been incorporated here. Although it's nanometer scale, it's really complex and a lot of engineering efforts goes into this. But through accumulated efforts, as ocean deals with a vast area, but at the same time, promoting efficiency is the common goal that we both have. And that requires a paradigm shift. So this is the semiconductor side of the story. So what is the core idea of this design? The neural network, to mathematically put, I've mentioned it's a calculation. It's a multi-scale computation. So the chip that we are designing can solve the multi-layer queue or matrix. So there's a lot of complicated explanation that goes into this, but to simply put, it can solve a multi-layer matrix. If you have this matrix formula, this chip can do scheduling, pipelining, and there's another calculation processor within this chip. And optimal arrangement is another thing to better the pipelining of this chip. To reduce the need for passing the information from one node to the other node. I've mentioned before that the computation need to be repeated times and times again. But if you can reduce that redundancy, then we can increase the efficiency, and that's the technology that we are currently developing. This is the explanation on the pipelining. The semiconductor technology may seem unfamiliar to you or irrelevant to your industry. But as mentioned, although it deals with nanoscale chips, I think we have a common goal. It's like making a big plant and manufacturing lines. Just like the city design or manufacturing line design, let's say we have a function that we need to solve. The workload will have to be arranged efficiently. For example, the operators will have to be arranged at an optimal place to enhance the efficiency and productivity in order to process a big chunk of work. If you see the design side, there are some semiconductor-specific design, but a lot of mathematic optimization that is entailed here. And a lot of problems is about how we can efficiently solve the problem using AI. This is the chip design map and how they are interconnected and integrated. So though it is related to Korean industry and market, when we first started as a startup company in 2017, the semiconductor engineering field in Korea was not that strong. We were strong in manufacturing, but in terms of engineering, we are not in a global scale, and there were not many companies who have global competitiveness. After the birth of the startups, just like us, based on the engineering knowledge, we are designing these advanced chips. As mentioned, we have developed second generation chip, and we are just around the corner to be commercialized, I think design has become another strength of Korea. Oceans, although this is not my field of expertise, but I have done a study, and I asked questions to AI and found out some common problems that we can solve together. In the World Ocean Forum, you have already discussed this issue, but once again, let me briefly give you my idea on this. I've mentioned about foundational climate model. I think this kind of issue and problem is quite complicated. Therefore, AI will contribute to the breakthrough development or discoveries in this field. By efficiently collecting data and train the algorithm, then we will have a clue toward the ocean ecosystem and on how to solve the climate issue. I think that's another application for AI. And we have sensor technology. Using those sensors, we can study ocean waste and pollutants in the sea. To remove those pollutants and waste, I've talked about AI vision model. It is like having many eyes at sea through AI. We can do monitoring, and if there's any pollutants in the sea, we can remove those efficiently using AI. I think ocean is so vast that there are some areas that we haven't discovered so far. But if we can apply the sensing technology and AI, we can deepen our understanding on the ocean. And fisheries. As mentioned, if we apply vision technology or AI technology and automation to fisheries industry, then we can make the industry sustainable and reduce the impact, environmental impact. Autonomous ship has already been developed, and efficient routing and navigation to reduce the energy consumption and making it have a better efficiency will be solved by AI as well. Lastly, I think this is directly related to my company. Building an AI data center requires a lot of work, and this has become a big challenge because AI uses a lot of power and energy, and we will have to use renewable energy sources. Or building offshore data center can be a good idea, and Microsoft is already attempting that. By utilizing ocean resources to run the data center or semiconductor manufacturing line can be another idea. So this concludes my presentation. Thank you.
멋진 발표해 주신
Please give him a big round of applause. Thank you.
해양 산업과
So he talked about the linkage between the marine industry and AI, as well as diverse possibilities based on his expertise. I would like to thank the speaker once again.
분의 말씀을 토대로
And based on these two presentations, we are going to have a panel discussion. And this is a very unique keynote speeches you can find only at the World Ocean Forum. And to solve some of the potential questions, we are going to have a panel discussion. And for the panel discussion, we are going to invite the two keynote speakers and our moderator. So the discussion will be about the presentations on top of the questions from the audience. And let me introduce our moderator. The moderator requires no explanation. He served as a moderator from last year and this year again. And he is an iconic intellectual from South Korea, President Jang Jae-guk from Dongsa Universities. And we are going to invite our two keynote speakers once again for a panel discussion.
One more time, and also CEO Baek Jun-ho onto the stage for the panel discussion. 저장님 준비되셨으면 마이크를 넘기도록 하겠습니다.
The moderator, please. It's a great pleasure to meet you. My name is Jang Jae-guk, president of Dongsa University, and I served as a moderator last year and this year again. And I would like to thank President Kim Hyun-kyum of the planning committee, and he asked me to serve this job once again. And both of the keynote speeches were impressive. I believe that most of you have learned a lot from these two presentations. And they have two different topics, so it is hard to find for me to find a common ground between these two presentations. And I'm a scientist myself. I majored in political science, and it is called political science in English. So I call myself a scientist. I don't have a background in the marine industry and science. That is why I'm not so sure whether I'm a proper fit. Still, I would like to proceed in the most efficient and useful manner. So let me start. And Dr. Michida introduced the IOC. I thought of International Olympic Committee myself, so I felt guilty when he mentioned that. So he introduced what the IOC does, and he talked about the emerging AI technologies, how it can be utilized to preserve our oceans. And Mr. Baek, as you know, he looks like a startup CEO. So he talked about the marine industry and the potential application of AI and the massive cost incurs. So how can we bring down that cost? That was the theme of his presentation, and he also explained the solutions at Furiosa AI. So we only have 30 minutes for the discussion. So if we have time, we will take some questions from the audience at the end of the discussion. So please get ready for the questions if you have any. So let me give you my first question to Dr. Michida. So in your speech, you mentioned that we need to transition from the ocean we currently have to the ocean we aspire to. You mentioned this. I believe you obviously wanted to emphasize the importance of ocean sustainability. And when I go to any conference, everyone talks about sustainability. However, is it actually achievable? I have this question because we do not have the proper technology and people are not paying enough attention to the environment. So can we achieve sustainability or not? It is a very practical question. So do you think achieving this goal is actually feasible? So I would like to ask for your opinion, Dr. Michida.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. It's a big challenge as well, as you mentioned. But we have to do so. Otherwise, we cannot survive in the future. That is the common understanding in the oceanographers, right? So we are now in the midst of the UN Decade Ocean Science. But the UN Decade Ocean Science goal would be try to change the situation, hopefully, but step-by-step approach is needed, right? The first step should be much more understand the ocean state now and what will be happening in the future. That is also we have to this kind of information to convey this kind of information to the general public as well, to change their behavior, our behavior for the future Earth. It's not easy, of course, but without this kind of activities, achievement, I should say, will not be properly survive in the next 30 or 40 years. So my answer directly to you is right now we would properly or actively implement UN decade from the ocean side, and then we try to we also pay more effort to convey that kind of information to the general public. That is a step-by-step approach, but it's essential, I think.
네, 아주 지속 가능성에 대해서
So you've mentioned about sustainability and the need to make further efforts to achieve sustainability. In the last part of your presentation, you've mentioned that AI technology can be used.
하셨습니다. 그래서 IOC는
So you said that we have some issues regarding ocean forecasting with AI. And what efforts has the IOC made to overcome these constraints?
I should say that this is just a starting point for us to utilize AI in ocean forecasting, but it should come, in the very near future. So in this connection, we started the discussion about what kind of the possibility to use AI technology to ocean forecast. So in my presentation, I listed up several issues to be discussed. That the IOC is keen to discuss, deepen the discussion about the challenges and the possibility as well.
네, 우리 백 대표님께 하나
And my next question go to CEO Peck from Furiosa AI. You introduce new technologies to us. And I think the technology might contribute to resolving the challenges that Dr. Michida mentioned. So how the technology can contribute? So the semiconductor chip itself cannot directly solve the challenges that Dr. Michida mentioned, but rather semiconductor chip is used for enhancing AI efficiency, so we are certain steps away, but what Dr. Michida mentioned from a bigger perspective of the industry, all the AI application faces a lot of challenges, and each industry faces challenges that can be solved through AI. If AI further develops, data and other regulation can become another big problem. To solve that, AI community will have to actively think about how to solve this. So if we think about those challenges, the developing countries and developed countries have some technology gap. Developing countries cannot fully utilize the AI technology of nowadays. I think.
이 IOC
So Dr. Michida, so how is IOC doing to ensure that countries with fewer resources can effectively use AI tools for ocean research and protection? So what is the support for developing countries at IOC?
Much for the question, because it's not only the issue of the AI, but the oceanography itself, right? So the ocean observation requires a lot of the resources and also the technologies and the knowledge as well. So in this understanding, from the very early beginning stage of the IOC, IOC started the activities of capacity development as a core mission of our commission. So we are now in a how many times, but I don't know. But now we have already established, published capacity development strategy in oceanography, to be promoted by IOC. So we also, of course, we should cover how to develop the capacity in AI technology in the developing countries as well, particularly in terms of the ocean forecasting and early warning system and the mitigation system and ecosystem restoring. So the IOC is also keen about the activities of the capacity development. So it's not easy, also require the resources to do so, but IOC is surely to promote the capacity development activities in the future as well.
그 capacity development를 말씀하셨는데 혹시 그 IOC에서
So you mentioned the capacity development, and at the IOC, I'm curious that developing countries might have a think tank, but they need resources and capital to operate think tank. And do you support them in terms of operating these institutions?
Yeah, partially yes, because the financial resources in our commission is not so big, you know. It is not easy for us to provide financial support to that activities, overall activities for that. But we have been offering the think tank services as well, and also provide the training course and the educational opportunity for the ocean-related expert in the developing countries. So this is the way we are now carrying out.
비슷한 문제를 우리 백 대표님한테 좀.
I want to ask similar question to CEO Peck. I guess the semiconductor technology and your product seems quite expensive to manufacture. And your mission of your company is to promote AI technology for everyone on Earth. So you emphasize the accessibility of the technology. In fact, to solve the climate change issue, the developed countries alone cannot solve it, and all the countries around the world will have to join hands to solve this. So developing countries might need some support. Do you have any ideas related to this? The core of designing AI semiconductor chip is to reduce costs. That can be energy cost or raw material costs. So the power usage of AI and the cost itself will have to be reduced significantly so that general public can use and democratize AI. Yes, that's the mission of Furiosa AI. And I think that's the core value that we can deliver. So currently, if you see the semiconductors in the market, how far can you bring down the cost? What's your goal for the cost reduction? So currently, the AI system and semiconductor rely on GPU, but our chip is aiming to reduce the carbon footprint by 50%. If we scale up the company to optimize the technology, then compared to cost and power, then we can reduce it by 2 times or 3 times. And Busan Ilbo asked a quick question to you, as we have a lot of young people here and soon-to-be startup owners. As you are a startup CEO, is there any tips that you want to share with the young generation here? So we are still startup, and we have a long way to go. Okay, I cannot dare myself to tell you tips. But I have some experience, so if you look at the AI industry or new technologies that is changing paradigm, As I am the insider of semiconductor industry, so semiconductor was something that we had some strength. So some people was quite reluctant for us attempting new things here. And many people said that it won't work out. For example, the design field. And people thought that we are doing already great, so we don't have to take a step further. So my tip for the younger generation is to break away from the legacy, because the new industry will require new player, and those new entrants can have an advantage in that new field. So my tip is that you need to break away from the legacy or conventional mindset, and you need to set a bigger goal, make new attempts. Then that will lead to a good result. And there are a lot of opportunities in the world, so be brave, make new attempts, and then you will be able to see good results. I think thinking outside the box is important. You don't have necktie on, so that's impressive. So if you want to run a startup, don't wear a necktie, don't wear a tie. That's a shortcut to success.
실질적인 일상생활에 미치는 어떤
So the AI impact to our everyday life, that's the next topic that I would like to ask to you.
게
And this is a question for Dr. Michida. So in terms of AI usage, we mostly use it for monitoring. And monitoring is actually important. So we can predict the contamination state of the oceans. However, monitoring is not the end of the story. So we have to develop new technologies to solve the actual problem. So monitoring is one thing. However, we have to develop new technologies to actually combat such problems. But monitoring and the technology to solve the problem still have some gaps. And how can we bridge the gap between these two? Because if we fail to solve this issue, we will not see any progress in sustainability.
Thank you very much for the question. It's the also challenging part, you know. But I should say again, the monitoring is still important, right? For the baseline information to provide to implement some countermeasure activities based on that monitoring or forecasting. So how we proceed the countermeasure activities like marine pollution, the reduction. It is part not the monitoring. It is the part of the decision-making processes, you know. But monitoring data and the forecasting information based on the monitoring data should be used for the better or proper decision-making processes. That is quite important. For example, we are not discussing about the river discharge from land. It's the big pollutant or source of the marine plastic litters. But we can set up some sort of trap in every river. It takes a lot of cost, you know. But the monitoring, and the forecasting system gives some information like the trap should be effective or not. They should be effective. That in the case, decision maker can make a decision to construct the trap for the garbage or litters. This is just an example, not the realistic world, but this is just an example, the relationship between the monitoring and decision-making processes. So, again, the monitoring, of course, you mentioned the starting point, but without proper monitoring and the better forecasting system, the decision should not be a proper one. That is the point.
중요한 말씀하셨는데 모니터링
That's a very important comment. Yes, monitoring is important, but if we just keep doing monitoring, we can come up with potential solutions. However, if we do not have proper tools to implement technologies, it will be a problem.
계시는데
So, CEO Peg, you are currently developing state-of-the-art technology. If we use future AI, is there any application to the ocean industry? What's the challenges and opportunities in the ocean industry? So the challenges mentioned earlier are all complicated and not easy to solve. For example, marine resources and marine preservation and sustainability. Those problems are big in scale and difficult to solve. To solve those problems, we need to approach in a different way. We need vast amount of data, and that will entail a lot of computations. AI technologies still have limitations, and those limitations will have to be overcome through algorithm. And again, we face some ethical issues related to AI. But on the contrary, breakthrough can be made through AI. That's, I think, very exciting. I think we need to have a belief that we can solve the problem through AI. If we scale our thoughts on AI, then we can find a breakthrough. So I am using AI technology, for example, ChatGPT. And ChatGPT tells us some lie. It gives me lie. And if I ask the system, are you lying to me? Then the ChatGPT always apologize. Yes, it was a lie, sorry. But that should be solved, right? So the ChatGPT system learns human language and trains through human language. If we incorporate visual images, and it doesn't have the comprehensive understanding on the world because it only used language. It didn't use visual and other side of the senses. So I think there can be some breakthrough later. The current AI model and the constraints in this paradigm, in case of OpenAI develops new reasoning model. So it is developing fast. And those issues are called hallucination because human can make some mistakes or can tell lie, and that's hallucination on our part, but in going forward, we can reduce the number of errors. And I think AI will develop to do so. So the organizing committee wanted me to conclude the session by 5:08, so we only have 5 minutes. I'll give the last chance to the floor to ask question. If you have any question, please ask. So please designate who you're asking your question to, and please be brief.
So I have a question to Dr. Michida. And Dr. Michida, you gave us an informative and insightful presentation and discussion. So we have an AI expert, so my question could be random. So my question is directed to both of the presenters. I believe this is a climate issue. So we keep talking about carbon when we talk about climate crisis. However, I believe that oceanographers like Dr. Michida, when you analyze the climate, you analyze the path of typhoon and predict the next location of typhoon, you might start with the evaporation of the ocean. And other than these scientific factors, in the larger context, what kind of factors can we consider? So we have the 360 degrees satellite image, but when we decide on the potential path of typhoon, carbon is not everything. We have to look at the temperature of land and ocean so that we can predict and the direction of wind. So if you can give us some factors for analysis, Dr. Michida, I believe that it will be helpful to startup owners like Mr. Peck, because he talked about the rounds and rounds of analysis he's conducting. And last year's keynote speaker got asked this question. So instead of analyzing hundreds of random factors, how can we identify exact and selected factors so that AI experts can run simulation on these limited factors so that we can increase accuracy? So can you give us the factors, Dr. Michida and Dr. Beck? You can give us feedback on the factors, whether it is applicable or not. But we will have another question because it takes a long time to answer the question.
예, 반갑습니다.
Nice to meet you all. I am a professor teaching semiconductor-related study. Today, we are discussing AI and ocean, and CEO Peck has covered this well. So you've mentioned about detecting ocean pollution using AI. For example, last year, there was a big issue on the Fukushima nuclear plant's water release issue. If we can use the sensor and apply AI on this, can we solve those kind of issues as well? So we face a lot of pollution in the ocean, for example, microplastics and so on. How can we incorporate these issues to commercialize the AI technology? So I want to know the AI application industry. So thank you for your good questions, but due to time limit, we can give 25 seconds each. Dr. Michida, 25 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm afraid that I couldn't capture well the gentleman's questions because of the mixture of the English and the Korean language. So what is the point that what is the point he was mentioning?
Maybe you can leave it to him.
Yeah.
But the second question, yeah.
Second question first.
제가 사실 질문을 정확하게 이해.
I didn't get the question well myself either. Sorry. So Fukushima nuclear plant contaminated water. How can we monitor that using AI? As mentioned before, I'm not the expert in that field, but still I'm a semiconductor researcher. So if we further develop the AI model, if the AI model can identify that situation, I think that will be possible.
Mr. Michida.
Okay, I hope I would capture your question properly. The climate change, the monitoring for the climate change, what is essential? That would be the question. So in that understanding, I can say that although the parameters are quite important, like the temperature, surface temperature, air temperature, of course, because it is the direct the indicator of the climate change. But in terms of the impact for the future climate change, in that part, the temperature change in the ocean is really important, right? So because the spatial, the dominant spatial scale is quite small in comparison with the atmosphere, but the monitoring site is very sparse in the ocean. In that connection, the more the dense or high resolution monitoring in the ocean would be the essential. And in that sense, the sea surface temperature can be derived from the satellite observation. So the combination between satellite and in situ observation, that will be a great help for the future prediction of the climate change.
예, 매번 이렇게 토론 시간이 되면 시간이 짧은.
Whenever we have a panel discussion, I note with much regret that we don't have enough time. We have two excellent keynote speakers and we have many things to cover, but time is up already. So this concludes our panel discussion. Let's give them a big round of applause once again. And again, to moderator Professor Jang Jae-guk, please let's give a big round of applause to him as well. Thank you for the keynote presentations and panel discussions. I think that decorated the keynote session well.
네, 여러분 고맙습니다.
Thank you once again. This concludes the opening ceremony of the 18th World Ocean Forum. Thank you once again to all the participants. Related to this year's session, let me give you a brief announcement. In Hall A, we are going to have a marine shipbuilding and maritime session. And in Hall B, we are going to have a marine finance and marine engineering session. For the distinguished guests who are invited to the gala today, please wait here. And networking reception place is on the 7th floor of this hotel. So once again, for those who are invited to today's gala, please follow the instruction of our staff. Please let the staff know that you are participants to the forum when you go out of the parking space. So please return the receiver. Once again, thank you for joining us. This concludes the opening ceremony.